Welcome to another Empires and Puzzles Books video. Today we're still exploring the question of critical troops versus mana troops. I appreciate Governor from the Small Giant forums pushing the testing on this and suggesting ideas and coming up with other ways that we can determine the value of these two troops. So I came up with another experiment here that should be interesting. So I'm using Season 1 Province 3, Stage 4, because it is all dark enemies, so that will keep one aspect of this the same. They are all the same size enemy up until the boss stage. So there are 3 waves in this, so we're just going to really collect data from the first 3 waves to keep things as unvariable as possible. We're only using one of each color, trainer troops, which have exactly identical stats. It's really the only way in the game to get identical heroes with different elements. I am not using any holy trainers or dark trainers because I don't want the strong or weak hit to factor in. So all 3 of these will be a normal attack against the dark enemies. Using all level 1 critical troops. For this first test, I'm just going to play 5 games. Add up the total points of the hits that weren't the misses from the 2 colors that are missing. And then we're going to redo this with another 5 games using level 1 mana troops. So let's see how this turns out. And I am going to be auto-playing so that there's no bias in the choice on how I'm playing. I mean, it really shouldn't matter. The tiles are just hitting the way they're hitting. But either way, just for the record, auto-play.
Okay, we're going to redo this now using the mana troops. Now that both sets of mana troops were run through that same level 5 times each, it was a matter of logging into an Excel sheet all of the hits from all of the tiles. There was one thing that came up as I was entering that data. I realized that there's also an attack factor for combinations. The more and more we have a larger and larger combination, the bigger the increase comes from that combination. So I needed to eliminate those. So I only added tiles that were clean hits, just the first set, not a second, third, or fourth combo. So in adding those all up, I was honestly surprised at the results, and this is why it's important to do testing, because we check our own biases when we look at factual, objective data. So in doing that, when we add up all of the tiles hit by both sets of troops, you add up the total points, total damage, and divide it by how many tiles caused that damage, the mana troops came out to an average damage of 61.76 damage. Compared to the critical troops, Governor was correct. The critical troops came in at 63.67 average damage. So there is a difference. The critical troops are apparently doing more damage. The question, I guess, that remains for me is that difference in average damage worth the loss of the extra mana gained? And it may be too early to tell with level 1 troops. I imagine as we get further up, which is why people make the comments once you start hitting breakpoints with the mana troops and we're relying on special damage, that might be more of a factor at that point. But for now, with this just basic tile damage, the critical troops do seem to be giving more damage, at least before they start getting leveled up. Hope this helps. It's just another piece of a giant puzzle. More testing and research to come.